happened with Max?
Nothing, just an incident on the race. No.
What's up, party people? Today we are going kart racing for the first time in a league. It won't be my first time racing, but it'll be my first time go-kart racing in an actual league. Now, this go-kart league is a rental league, so it's nothing crazy, nothing extreme. Dallas Karting Complex does this karting league. It's a rental league. There's only 2 classes, so if you're below 190 pounds or above 190 pounds, naturally, I'm 6'2", I'm plus 250 pounds.
Here he comes.
So I'm going to be in the 190. Now it's going to be my first time racing in a league like this. I want to bring you guys along. I think it would be fun. Get myself some more seat time, like I said. We'll go ahead and walk through it. Alright, so cool thing about this league is you don't really need anything. You don't need a helmet. They have everything for you. I have my own helmet from Autocross. Also got this guy. I'm going to be GoProing the footage so we can walk through that. But right now, I am pulling out the league structure. So this is how the league works. So like I mentioned, 2 classes, those 2 weight classes. Naturally, I'm in the heavies, and then you've got your lights. So there is a point system, but before we jump to that, all right. So first things first, you got your drivers meeting. So rundown of all the rules for the night, the track layout, and just any other relevant information. So if you guys have been to a drivers meeting, you probably know how those go. All right, so you have qualifying, which is a 10-minute session to set down your fastest lap. Top 20 drivers advance. The rest go to the pre-final. So I think that's like a second qualifying session. The rest go to a last chance qualifier. So if you didn't make the top 20, then you have to race again, and the top 5 get to move on. So those that were in the top 20 are in the pre-final, and that's an 8 to 10 lap race, and that determines the starting position of the grid for them. And then obviously the final is all 25 drivers, so you have to be in the top 25 no matter what. And then top 3 get a spot on the podium. And then you get points based on your placement, and at the end of the year, that's where you place. So pretty cool, a little different than autocross, and I say a little, I mean a lot different. Obviously you've got karts, it's wheel-to-wheel racing, whereas autocross are more courses, more technical, and you're only racing against the clock, whereas here, the only time you're racing against the clock really is in qualifying. Everything else is a wheel-to-wheel race, and possibly multiple races depending on if you're in the top 20 or not. So cool thing about that, I'm excited. Like I said, Dallas Karting Complex starts here in about 2 hours. I'm about an hour away, so I'm about to head out here in a little bit. Let's go have some fun. Hell yes, I'm excited. We'll see how I do. Like I said, I'm a pretty heavy guy, so I don't expect myself to be doing that good, but you never know. I'm out here, we're learning, we're having fun. So appreciate you guys joining along on this race car journey. But let's get going. Alrighty, yes, let's go. Y'all already know we need some caffeine. Before we go, let's get going. Booyah! Qualifying session 1, here we are, let's go baby. Fuck me, let's not get last.
Yeah, A-Ron, yeah.
Alright, party people, it is voiceover time. So I'm walking to my cart now. It's looking like I am the first one in line with no clue in knowing how to get to the track. So I just got hopped in, got myself cozy and adjusted, put the seatbelt on. They went ahead and let us go. Everyone started following me, and I really hoped that I was going the right way. This added to the anxiety, especially considering I'd never driven on this particular track. This was a new track. It was also cold, it was really dark, but I wasn't going to let that keep me from having a good time. The tires were cold and the track was slippery. I was definitely taking it easy since I hadn't driven one of these karts since last year. Took me some time to get used to how these karts gripped up. They're very different from driving your normal cars. The brakes are in the rear, so you can't trail brake. It's really hard to grip up through the corners. But overall, not bad for qualifying. Got a little rowdy in the end, but hey. Unfortunately, we qualified 40th out of 50. Since I didn't make it to the pre-final, it was time to step up my game. This was the last chance qualifier. I started in 20th on the grid. We did a formation lap. Gave us some time to warm up our tires. Now this part was cool because this last chance qualifier was more of a race. So even if you don't make the top 20, you still get to compete in a race. I call this like the loser's race, where only the top 5 get to go on to that final race. So here is that rolling start. You see the green flag, lights out, and away we go. My game plan for the race was to keep my head down and really capitalize on people's mistakes. So here, going into corner 2, I decided to take the inside line, knowing a lot of people were going to spin out, like right there. Boom. Easy money. Just going to avoid them. Thank you very much. So I gained a couple positions. Still had to put in some work to make my way up to the next group of people. Man, some of these corners were really poorly lit, like this one coming up. I guess someone didn't pay their electricity bill because I was blind going into this corner. But still people messing up. Caught up to the group. Here's some more mistakes. Tisk tisk. Gonna go ahead and take those spots. Thank you very much. At this point, I was racing with some people, getting a little frustrated because they were pretty slow, and then a little bit of a fender bender right there. So here is the collision where I went off-road. I lost a lot of spots, lost a lot of speed. Got really frustrated because it was really hard working my way up from there. You can see me yelling at this guy over there. But same thing, kept my head down, kept on racing as hard as I could. Overall, I finished 18th, so I moved up 2 spots, but not enough to move on to the final race. Still had my fair share of fun. Really cool track. Next league race, definitely gonna race the track a couple times before I go into qualifying and everything and get used to the karts again. But overall, had a good time, dude. Can't complain. Cannot complain. Yo, that was a crazy good time. I had a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys can see me, but we're gonna go to Buc-ee's and then I'll catch you guys up at home. But not too shabby. Didn't do great, but not bad for my first time in the league race. Definitely gonna do this again. Add another expensive addiction hobby to the list. Let's go. You know, if you see this, you gotta make a stop at Buc-ee's, baby. Got ourselves a chopped brisket sandwich, cream cheese, cologne, body armor for the not so victorious victory meal. Gonna eat this real quick and then get on the road and go home because it's late. It's almost like 11 and I'm an old man, so it's past my bedtime and I gotta be up early tomorrow, so we'll get it going.